Hello, happy Friday night. Good evening. I am so glad to be here tonight to talk to you about this very important program and to give you some information because everybody who has a business that's a venue operator that may think you're a venue operator need to apply for this program. So tonight I have a special guest with me. Her name is Miss Patrice Ross. Hi, Miss Patrice. How are you?
Hi, everybody. How are you?
I am good. It's Friday night. We're gonna get our weekend started after this, hopefully. Um, so this evening, we're here to talk about the California Venues Grant. Can you tell us what the California Venues Grant program is? Actually, wait. I guess I should have
Sure.
let you introduce yourself and tell us who you are, who you work for, and what you do, and so the people will know that you're actually qualified to have this conversation. So let's start with.
N- No problem. I am Patrice Ross, and I work for Lindustry. Lindustry is the administrator of the California Venues Grant Program. They were contracted by the state of California to administer the grant. If you're familiar with the California Relief Grant, we were the administrators of that grant as well. So a little bit about the California Venues Grant Program. It is to support eligible independent live event venues that have been affected by COVID-19 so that they can support their operations.
That is awesome because we need more resources to help support our operations. I'm gonna bring I just sent Miss Tina a message. Oh, she's on standby for support, but I still want people to see that we have folks that are in some very high places. So Miss Tina, I just want you to say hi with your fabulous self, the people who you are. You we can't hear you.
You're
Oh
on
no.
mute.
Are you on mute?
There we go. Are we good?
Yes. Yes. Hi.
Yes.
Great. I got to keep up with this amazing organization here. Got to stay fabulous. Thank you. Patrice
I
is
know,
here
right?
to just make sure you guys have the information you need. My name is Tina Pelzer. I am colleague and counterpart to Patrice with Lindustry, and we are here to answer your questions, service your needs, get you all the goods and the information. Because if you're a live venue and if you promote a show or you produce something, we want you to apply for this grant. So I'll be here on the background. Let me know if I can help where needed.
This is awesome. I'm gonna remove you from this stream, not from the stream, from the front ground. We're gonna put you in the background. But if we need you, we're gonna come back and get you, okay? Thank you for being here. All right, Miss Patrice. What is an eligible venue?
So you must have a physical address in the Sacramento area or in the California area. You must be a defined performance and audience space. You have to have mixing equipment, a PA system, a lighting rig, um, and you need to engage in pay someone who engages in one or more of these activities. So you have to have a sound engineer, a booker, a promoter, a stage manager, security personnel, or a box office manager. Now that doesn't mean that one person may do two of those jobs. That's perfectly fine. But you have to have those positions available with your business. And for venues that are operated by a nonprofit entity that produce free events, the events have to be primarily operated by paid employees, not just volunteers.
Okay, that's good information. Hey, Miss Alicia Brown, thank you for joining us tonight. And Tax Lady K Renee, I've been seeing you all over Facebook. Hi, thank you for joining us this evening. Okay, so let's get back into I want to get track. What is an eligible venue?
Well, we just talked about what's an eligible venue.
I'm sorry,
So
an
let's
eligible.
talk about, that's fine. Let's talk about that you have to have been in business since June 1st of 2019 prior to June 1st of 2019. You must be currently active, and either you need to be reopened or have a plan in place to reopen. You have to be impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. You also want to make sure that you, some additional qualifications, you want to make sure that you're selling tickets, because one main thing about the grant is that 70% of your earned, of your losses need to come from ticket sales. So you want to make sure that you're selling tickets for actual events. You also want to, as a principal business activity, you organize, promote, produce, manage, host live concerts, comedy shows, theatrical productions, any other event of performing arts are eligible for the grant. You want to have cover charges at front door entrance fees, and you want to make sure your performers are paid. That's very important. Your performers have to be paid performers.
That's a lot. But I guess if this is what you do, and this is the industry that you're in, you probably do this. So let's talk a little
And
bit about because if you're familiar with the California Relief Grant, you had to have some kind of business structure. So what business structures qualify for this program?
Sole proprietors, LLCs, limited partnerships, 501(c)(3) nonprofit entities, 501(c)(6), and there's another one. But yeah, those are the ones. I think it's 501(c)(19), but let me be sure about that.
Can I
don't
bring
want to give
Tina
any
back
wrong
on?
information.
Tina back on?
Yeah. Oh, it's C4. She put it in the. She put it in the. Put it in the chat. It's C4.
Okay, cool.
501(c)(4).
Okay. Is there a percentage
And
of? Sorry, go ahead.
The good thing about this grant is as much as $250,000 or 20% of your gross earned revenue in your California tax return, your taxable year of 2019.
So if you made,
so that's a lot compared to the other grants.
Yeah, that's a whole lot. Required documentation will someone need to apply for this?
You're going to need your federal tax returns from your federal and state tax returns for 2019 and 2020. You want to make sure they're going to do a comparison of quarters 2, 3, and 4 of 2019 and 2020. So it's going to go based on your earned revenue in 2019, and they're going to compare it as a loss. You want to have, your loss needs to be at least 70% of a loss. Some other documents you're going to need proof of business location. You're going to need your government ID. The application certification. When you first open get ready to do the application, I think it's on the first page of the website. You're going to download the application certification. You're going to complete the application certification, save it, and then upload it to your application. If you don't download it and then upload it, then it's a chance that it won't document your information that you signed. You also want to have your Secretary of State filing, so your articles of incorporation, your certificate of organization, your fictitious business registration, or any government issued business license for, especially for sole proprietors who don't have a fictitious name. You should be filing at least like your business tax, your sales tax document or whatever, that should be on file, and it has to be dated before June 1st of 2019. And if you're a nonprofit, we need your tax exempt letter, and that also needs to be active prior to 2019.
Now, we ran into a lot of issues with sole proprietors and not having the proper documentation. You don't need a business license to operate as a sole proprietor. And so if someone has not had a business license up until this point, and they go and file a business license, the date on that business license is going to say December 3rd, 2021, which makes them ineligible for the program because the date that you have to have been operable with one. In case that could really hurt someone. So is there a remedy in place to deal with that? I know we've been able to
Yes.
work with people and get their tax return from 2018 or 2017
Yes.
prior to what you guys were asking for.
You would,
So I'm sorry, go ahead.
correct. You would submit your 2018 tax returns to prove
So there's no
your
excuse.
start, to prove that you, right, because you want, basically they want to know that you've been paying taxes, that you were running a legitimate business, and your 2018 tax return shows that you were paying taxes.
Okay. And then as far as the financial statements, that's the profit and loss for quarters 2, 3, and 4 for 2019 and 2020. Can you kind of give us a picture? We talked earlier today, and you were saying that quarter one, I can't even explain it the way you did. I probably wrote it down, but it's not even legible. So can you talk about that?
With the way it was explained to me, with COVID taking place or really hitting us majorly in that first quarter, they're matching your quarters 2, 3, and 4 of 2019 with quarters 2, 3, and 4 of 2020, because what that's going to do is show your loss from matching years, and it's cumulative of your earned income for those 3 quarters.
Right, and that's not that you wouldn't easily be able to show because we were pretty much sheltered in place in quarter 2 and 3. So it would be
right.
very easy to show a 70% loss. I just want to make sure that the people that are watching this don't feel like this is out of reach for them to get. This is we were just talking about this earlier about the process and how it's a lot simpler than the SVOG, the SVOG, and we're talking about
Yes,
how people had
it's a lot simpler.
I'm filling that one out, but the industry
Yeah.
has made this
But
one a lot easier.
Yes, it's a lot easier, and I suggest even if you are burnt out from SVOG, still apply. You should still have your documents all aside somewhere where you apply for SVOG. Just send those documents over to us because it's pretty much the same documents, and there's likely a better chance for you to get the California Venues grant rather than it may have been hard for the SVOG grant.
This is awesome. I am just elated and excited to be working with Lindustry and with the state of California. I think it's very important that that the state has recognized that we have a lot of businesses that still need help. You know, we're not out of the woods yet with the pandemic. People are still trying to get back on their feet. And so as these programs keep coming out, we're going to keep bringing you the information that you have to, like the tax lady K. Renee said, knowledge is power. And, you know, the Bible says our people suffer for lack of knowledge. Well, you don't have to lack any knowledge on anything that's out here and available. You just have to be in position to get it. If you need help getting it, whatever it is you need help with, BSBA made a commitment to ensure that we have those resources for you to be able to do this. Now, let's talk about the application period. When does this close?
So the application closes on December the 7th at 5 p.m. So my main suggestion to anyone watching is apply for the grant. Apply, apply, apply. So you apply for the grant and say you don't have all of your documents. You want to go ahead and apply. When you get to the end where it's asking for your documents, click the come back later. So that way you have a login to get back into your application and upload your documents. Now, don't wait forever to come back and upload your documents, but at least get that done, because after the 7th, you can't apply. There's no more applying. That's it. So as long as you get at least that far before 5 o'clock on the 7th, you have a chance, because you never know whether you qualify or not for this grant. So don't count yourself out.
That's good information. And, this is a fairly new program. And I know when the California Relief Grant first started, we had a whole set of requirements. And by the time we got to round 9, they were totally different. And so
Correct.
even if it seems like you're not eligible, apply anyway, because we don't know what's going to happen. The state may come back and change the criteria. They may say, hey, we don't have enough people applying. Let's ease up on this part, or let's allow this group in. Let's talk about NACES codes, because you were saying how on the application, there's a drop down and you have to pick a certain NACES code. So can we talk a little bit about that?
Yes, so there's 5 specific NACES codes. I don't have them in front of me, but though you may very well have a venue or business and you did not use these NACES codes. But when you go in to do the application, pick the NACES codes that best describes your business. Lindustry will have live people looking at your application, and they will see, yes, this business does do this. Although you may have just picked the NACES code out of the sky because maybe you didn't know what that meant when you were registering as a business, or your accountant may have picked something general and it doesn't match exactly what is required for the grant. But we have said that we at Lindustry are going to do our due diligence to make sure we check and make sure that your NACES codes match. So here are some of the NACES codes. Thank you, Tina. 711211, 711310, 711320, 722410, and 722511. Those are the ones that are going to show up on the application. And like I said, you want to pick the one that is closest to the business that you're in.
So if your NACES code is one of the ones you read, pick the one that's closest and still apply. Don't let that stop you from applying. This is really good information. I'm sorry, I'm just going to copy this because I want to make sure that we get it up. I was trying to find it while you were talking and it gave me half of it. I think it was just too many characters, but I want to add it so people see it. Those are the NACES codes that the state is allowing. So you want to pick the one that's closest to match.
And the descriptions are there.
Yes.
The descriptions are there so that you can decide which one you need.
Yes. So this is the California Venues Grant. A little overview of the program. Please go to California Venues Grant, cavenuesgrant.com. Fill out the application. If you get stuck or if you need help, you can call us at 916-573-0677. Lena is so excited to talk to you and help you fill out your application and get it completed. If we don't have the answers, we have Patrice who we can call. We're going to have her on speed dial so we can get your application processed and make sure you get it in on time and try to help you to stay in business to stay open, to reopen, to stay open and to reopen. So I am going to bring Miss Tina back on. I don't know if you have any advice, and then let Miss Patrice close us out with her last words of wisdom. And I'm gonna give you guys your Friday night back.
Only thing I have to say is first, thank you all so much. I think that this audience that Selena has invited us into is probably going to be one that's going to want this grant. Remember three things: that the most important things, 70% loss, if you can show that between 2019 and 2020. Your ticket sales, it can be ticket sales, it can be beverage sales, it can be concession sales, anything sales, 70%, right? That most of your income is generated with 70% sales. And then the last thing, if you got a CRG grant, you are still eligible. The only thing is that that amount that you received for the CRG grant will be deducted from the amount that you will get for this grant. So it doesn't mean you don't qualify. You still qualify. Just make sure you keep that one thing in mind, that it will be deducted. So look at your financials and your income to see if that, is going to be something that might either get in the way, or say, hey, yes, I can get an additional $10,000 because it meets the requirements. So apply. That's the biggest thing. Long as you're in before the 7th, you're all set.
Awesome. All right, Miss Patrice, Miss Shy Lady, wrap us up.
All I can say is that you have the information. Please apply. Apply, apply, apply. That's the most important thing. If you're an entertainment business, if you're a venue, apply for the grant. You never know.
Awesome. And with
Thank
that,
you.
we are so glad to have brought this information to you. Oh, she said, what is the link? I'm going to post the link right now because we want you to apply. Here is the link. It's the California venue, cavenuesgrant.com. cavenuesgrant.com. Lena, can you please put that in the chat so they have it? Looks like we had something else come in. Oh, you're welcome. I don't know how to say it. Janitress. I don't know. It's a pretty name though. It looks like really pretty. Thank you for watching, and thank you all for watching tonight. And we hope that you will take our advice and apply for this and get you some money so that you can stay in business and we can come and visit your business someday. Have a great night.